Cancel culture within U.S. universities is crippling our education system. Hi, my name is Nicholas Plattner. Today I'd like to talk about why schools should not ban speakers from speaking on their campuses. Now, to begin with, I feel I'm qualified to speak on this because I've done some thorough research, and furthermore, I am also a college student, so some of these experiences that I may mention, I've experienced myself. Now, my main points I'd like to go over is the existence of cancel culture, the problems it is causing within the school system, and the benefits if we do enact non-banning of speakers. Now, to begin with, cancel culture is a real thing. In fact, quite recently, WSU had an incident where Ivanka Trump was meant to speak. She was invited to speak for WSU Tech. About 400 students, most of which who were not part of WSU Tech, all emailed the university, tried to get her canceled. In fact, it did succeed. And this is just one example. The Foundation for Individual Rights in Education, otherwise known as FIRE, found that about 78% of liberal students and 38% of conservative students are quite open to canceling speakers should something occur. Now, protests are typically how these speakers are canceled, but that is not always the case. Milo, another controversial speaker, in 2017, CNN covered an incident at Berkeley University, a main point for public speaking, in which 150 students began rioting within the school, causing about $100,000 of damage. Due to safety reasons to students and Milo, he was forced to cancel his speech. And this is just an example. We're seeing this a lot nowadays. If protests don't work, physical threats will. Now that I've gone over the existence of cancel culture, I should talk about why it's an issue. And the biggest issue is that people are being allowed to manipulate ideas for students. Now, a lot of these speeches are being labeled hate speech, and that is the biggest reason that they're being canceled. But hate speech is quite a broad term. In fact, a lot of people who will label something as hate speech, other people won't. But these people who are in charge of what's being called hate speech on campuses can cancel specific speakers, limiting freedom of information, freedom of speech, choking ideas. This is not beneficial to our students whatsoever. This is allowing people to manipulate who students are allowed to see, and this is a manipulation of ideas at a young age, and these are the people who are supposed to go into the workplace. Now, this is what's happening currently with the cancel culture. The solution to this is that schools should stop banning speakers, and yes, this does include hate speech. Genuine hate speech from racists and bigots. I'll tell you why. Now, one of the biggest benefits to being exposed to these horrible ideas in some cases is that it challenges our own beliefs. Now, what I mean is that when exposed to an entirely different idea, something you could completely disagree with, it makes you think about your own beliefs. And this can do two things. It can either cause you to reaffirm your own beliefs and find more reasoning behind the way you think, which will make you smarter in the long run, or it could show that you may have a flaw in the way you're thinking. As Robert Reich said, a professor at Berkeley, ironically, he said the best way to learn something is to talk with people who disagree with you. He says that he wants his students to be exposed to these different ideas so that it'll reinforce their own beliefs and make them better as a person. Furthermore, by exposing ourselves to these ideas of people who we label as racist and bigots and sexist, it causes us to understand their way of thinking. And this is also important. By learning of the way these people think, not only can we help our future generations in expressing different ideas, teaching our younger generation not to follow these beliefs, we can also help people who may be in that situation. Daryl Davis is one such amazing man. Daryl Davis is a African American, a U.S. citizen, and he is well known for converting a lot of KKK members. And he is a prime example of why people should be exposed to these hateful ideas. At a young age, he continually exposed himself to the ideas and met with Klansmen and would attend Klan's rally to speak with these people, to understand their train of thought. He exposed himself to these differing ideas, these hateful ideas, and he bettered himself as a person. He's released many books, he's helped many people leave the Klan, and it's amazing. And he's a living testament to the idea I'm preaching today. Now, in conclusion, like I said, cancel culture is a very real thing right now, and it's very dangerous. People are getting to manipulate what we see, what we hear, and the action we need right now is we need to talk to our schools and say, hey, stop canceling these speakers. A very small majority of people are petitioning for this, but on a majority, it can be helpful for people to hear these ideas, because it can either better ourselves as a person, or we can help better other people in turn. And that is why schools should not ban speakers. Thank you, and have a nice day.